Hi, my name is Jenny. Today I am sitting at a beautiful lake surrounded by what were once many lotus flowers and now is one lotus flower that is still blooming strong. I also have a beautiful tree spirit here. And I also have a beautiful heron sitting at my side that is just kind of hiding in the bushes. And yeah, life brought me here today to talk a little bit about the eclipse and the new moon. My plan was to write a text, and life's plan was to do it this way. Yeah, it's been a really intense week, maybe for you as well, but for me for sure. Let's take a moment to enjoy beautiful sounds of nature. I hear some splashes in the water, the rustling of the branches around. The air flowing. There's a lot of water present. It was a very misty day, a very, kind of like a little bit of rain, a drizzling. And yeah, that's something I want to also talk about, the water. I feel the water so present, and the water really is calling our attention with this eclipse as well. The other two elements we have super present are fire and air. This new moon is in Libra. So the sun and the moon are in Libra, 21 degrees. And it's happening on the south node, which is why it is an eclipse. And across from that, the north node, we have in Aries. So yeah, these eclipses are said to be portals, are said to be times of really kind of like correcting the course and changing direction and radical things happening, unexpected things happening. Some people are a little bit anxious about this energy, and others are like, yes, this is amazing. We get a boost, we get a jump start, we get a wake up call. So I leave it up to you to choose how you like to approach life. But I do feel the opportunity, and I feel the opportunity for healing that comes with a radical understanding, with a radical experience, and sometimes having to sit through that uncomfortable experience brings a lot of beauty on the other side of the transition. Libra is a sign that is very much about the relation that our soul, our self, forms with an opposite. So with another being, and how that relation reflects back to us something about ourselves. And also, of course, the difference that comes with an action, with a feeling, with an experience, when we have something sitting there across from us, when there's a space created through the geometry of an opposition, through something being across. It gives us a different perspective. It gives us something to be in relation to, and that relation and that ratio brings another level of understanding, brings another level of intention, brings a new dimension of consciousness. So Aries is very much the birth of the self, and Libra is the energy that is in interaction. And interactions have many different colors, vibrations, frequencies. So what does all of this mean? What do our relations show us? How are they benefiting us? How are they nourishing us? How aware are you of your relations? And also, what can you relate to? I'm talking about relation and not about relationship, because the word is loaded and we often assume romantic partners or lovers or loved ones. But for me, it really goes into the relation with everything, with nature, with a tree, relation to an animal, relation to an element, relation to an idea, relation to, from country to country, relation between in workplaces, between people, relation to objects, relation to things, relation to money, relation to anything that you can perceive and witness. So now with this eclipse energy, we have an important factor, which is Chiron, sitting also right there across in Aries. And Chiron, the wounded healer, is our gift and our blessing, and our special area in which we are demanded to pay attention, because it's this area that decides how we feel, if we can enjoy what we're experiencing, or if our trigger takes us into a place of pain, takes us into a place of a vulnerability that feels hurtful. So we are really receiving a lot of information right now about, and we're receiving that information on all levels. We're receiving it through our mind, rationally, through talking. We're receiving it through emotions. We are receiving it through feeling pulled right now towards certain things that nourish us, and being guided and led and being held also by others, because Libra is also about the others. So we may receive right now an increase in pain, but at the same time we can also perceive an increase in nourishment, in being held, and an opportunity to express that to express a need, to express an important tool, a tool that you want to use, a tool that you are crafting right now, and a tool that comes from yourself, that you are recognizing about yourself. I say that because we have a conjunction between Mercury and Pallas Athena. It's also in Libra. It's a few degrees away, but that Mercury is directly across from Chiron in 17 degrees, and Pallas Athena is quite close. So if you know the mythologies of these archetypes, then you can get a really interesting feeling about how these characters, how these energies play what topics they highlight. I encourage everyone, by the way, if you're interested in understanding more about the planets and the archetypes, to read mythologies. Sometimes the stories have different names but are the same energy, and if something calls you, if something feels like it's making itself noticeable to you, that's a great way to connect, to call upon the energy, and then it can continue showing up in many different ways. But it's a good starting point for exploration. The other, kind of important energy we have at play right now is a square between Mars and Pluto, which the square already happened this week, so it's an energy that is it may be super explosive, it may be harsh, it may be evolutionary, radical, it may be impulsive, and it may be raw and very powerful. We already experienced that, and now Mars is in Scorpio. So Mars is entering a watery domain. It's actually an energy that Mars likes to be in. So Mars has a little bit of a benevolent quality here. And this is really a phase, or this transit shows us that what is happening right now is really challenging, because it's really important for the bigger picture here. It's really important for our evolution. We're at a phase right now where we are noticing the changes that we want, that we feel we can grasp, the changes in ourselves, and at the same time, now we experience a great challenge. A keynote here for me is to utilize that quality of the sun and the moon to get into balance. I feel the sun as a very strong symbol right now, and we can call upon symbols, and we can use the power of symbols through any way. We can go into a dream, we can meditate or do like a waking dream. There's a better term for that, but I forgot it. But we can go into like a waking reflection about a symbol, with a symbol. We can draw upon a symbol by literally drawing it, using it in art. We can sing about it, talk about it, have conversations about it. We can also listen to songs that talk about this symbol. So if we are craving for a little bit of sun, we can tap into sun wisdom by utilizing all of those tools. Reading a book about the sun, listening to a song about the sun, meditating and imagining a sun. And I feel like the sun right now is a very key factor, because it has the potential to purify, to burn away layers. It has the potential to give warmth. It is the basis of life for us on this planet. It's very important in many ways, for survival, for growth, for health. So I invite everyone to call upon the sun, the spiritual sun, and the literal sun. And also I invite us all to tap into the energies of water, because this Mars in Scorpio is also in a great trine. And this great trine it has with Vesta in the sign of Cancer, and in the sign of Pisces we have Saturn. So what this tells me is that we really have an opportunity right now to align our actions with our connection to our heart, to purify and sanctify that connection to our heart. We really have the opportunity to understand how the heart is our home, how the heart space is our home. here on Earth, and how that reflects back in a place of spiritual structure, and by spiritual structure I don't mean institutional structure. I mean the soul. I mean the spirit. It has nothing to do with church or with religion. It's everyone's connection as being spirit and having spirit within, and understanding how those actions can right now be purified, how those actions right now then play into that Saturn in Pisces and craft devotion. Saturn is about boundaries, but it's really about devotion and understanding that a boundary can be necessary for keeping a place holy, and some boundaries may need to be lifted to make a place holy once again. And the Saturn is still in retrograde, so it's still very much in reflection mode. So it's not so much about establishing new boundaries, but just being aware of which boundaries need to be reinforced and which boundaries need to be let go. And it's not only about boundaries, but it's about being committed, being serious, being providing also. How to utilize our forces, our action, to provide nourishment, spiritual and emotional nourishment in this time to yourself and through yourself to the other. Because everything that you do reflects back to everything else. And everything that you do, every intention you set for yourself, every thought you have, every prayer you form and speak impacts everything else. Because we are all interconnected. We are interwoven. We are experiencing through unique perspectives a perception of separateness that is embedded within wholeness. And I feel that is what this eclipse is also reminding us of. It's the pain of not being separate and the pain of wanting to be separate. The pain of being separate and not wanting to be separate. It's the pain of the paradox. It's the pain that we experience feeling alone, and the pain we experience feeling threatened by others. And we have an opportunity to rebalance those perceptions, to rebalance those ideas and those communications, to rebalance our nervous systems and understand how everything impacts everything. Everything else. And it starts with consciousness. It starts with that light of the sun and that feeling, that intuition of the moon. And right now they are together. They are very close. They are merging. They feel so similar. And that is very supportive. We need to understand that letting go of codependency allows for a new form of interdependency that is built on a deeper level of feeling that acknowledges the deepness of the feeling that we are able to have. There's another aspect that I wanted to bring up, which is in Taurus we have Jupiter at 13 degrees and Uranus at 22 degrees. And both of those are, they're in conjunct with this eclipse, which means that they are not right in front, right opposite, but they're a little bit to the side. It sometimes is referred to as a blind spot or as a place where the energy cannot be seen so clearly, always cannot be accessed so easily. So I feel it's important to remember at this time that in those moments where we do feel like the expansion in the body is not so easy, where we do feel like we don't feel so protected, where we feel like we want radical innovation, but we don't know how to physically implement it, how to speak it out, we can remember that nothing stands still, and this too shall pass. This too shall pass. The other earth signs are also very relevant right now, not only Taurus, but Virgo. Understanding how things organize themselves, understanding how to keep things clean, understanding how to utilize the creative force to co-create life every single day. And Capricorn, where we have Pluto, the energy of understanding how to build systems and structures that last, understanding how to climb, understanding how to utilize your ability to make things, to make an impact. Understanding the passage of time. And yeah, we have Pluto there. We have in Virgo we have Venus and Lilith there. And all of these characters have been very, very loud this week. They have all been saying, I have a very important piece of the puzzle for you. Especially this Lilith. We had a Lilith-Venus conjunction on Monday evening, and also opposite of Saturn. And for those of you who read my last post, I feel this energy very strongly. But yeah, this is also, so Venus has traveled on a little bit, but Lilith is still opposite of Saturn, and this is quite the challenge. It's a rebellious energy, but it's also the energy, wow, there's the heron flying. Yeah, it's a rebellious energy, but it's also the energy to implement commitment and service, and the energy that connects with a deeper, more primal need in us. And it's important that these needs are showing right now, because they can help us reflect, and they can help us learn about ourselves. And each time we learn something about ourselves, we learn something about life, about the world. I know that these times may be challenging, and that we may feel the weight of the world, the weight of change, the weight of stagnancy. And I encourage everyone to find your commitment to doing the little things that will help you balance yourself a little more each day. And simply committing yourself to allowing that connection to your heart to become the source of your action, and allowing compassion for your own emotions, and then finding the discernment to reflect, move, let go of what is no longer needed because it has already given you understanding and awareness. And in that loving awareness, allow things to transform. Allow your relationships to transform. Allow your awareness of yourself to transform. Allow your habits to transform. Your thoughts, your prayers. And allow yourself to acknowledge your impact on the world. Acknowledging your impact in the fields you are in, your environment, the people, animals, plants, spirits around you. Allow yourself to witness that and empower yourself with your mind, with your thoughts, and with your words. And for anyone who feels close to the water, I feel the water is offering an opportunity right now to amplify our prayers and bring them into the earth, and to store the energy, the frequency that we give it, and carry that through the life veins on this planet. So there are many ways in which life shows its support, and those who ask and those who listen may be able to receive an answer. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope that you feel calm and nourished. I hope that you feel inspired and awake. And I hope that you return for more. And I hope that you feel the love in my heart that I have for you all. Have a beautiful day.